Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. Today we're going to be discussing some of the most important figures, both famous and infamous, from wizarding history. Names that are coupled with accomplishments and stories that make the wizarding world what it is today. The Harry Potter books really only cover the time period that the books are set in, but there's a lot more to Harry Potter lore than meets the eye, and it's always interesting taking a look back at the history books. There is a lot of ground to cover and a lot of names on this list, so this will just be part one of a multi-part series. Starting in alphabetical order, today we're taking a look at the A's and B's. Let's dive in. Andros the Invincible. Ever wondered about the limits of the Patronus charm? Well, Andros the Invincible put this to the test. Andros, an esteemed wizard of ancient Greece, gained widespread acclaim for his extraordinary feat of summoning a Patronus of unprecedented size. It is said that his Patronus reached immense proportions, surpassing any recorded in wizarding history, comparable in magnitude to a giant. Born in Greece during the classical antiquity period, Andros exhibited exceptional magical abilities, which led to him being bestowed with the moniker, the Invincible, a testament to his unmatched skill and power. Architect of Hogwarts. For those of you who may not know, Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry was not actually built by Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Salazar Slytherin, the powerful witches and wizards who founded it. In reality, when the castle was constructed in the late 900s, an unknown wizard who was not among the founding members was commissioned to design the school, and it was he who was behind the planning and building of the actual castle. Although the exact identity of this mysterious architect remains unknown to this day, what we do know is that he was a wizard and not a witch, due to the statue of him located in the entrance hall of Hogwarts Castle. The statue is made of gold and depicts the architect holding a model of the castle in one hand and charts depicting the school's design in the other. Other details that we have as well include that the architect would have lived during the Middle Ages, as that's when the castle was built, and it's said that this mysterious architect was the one responsible for designing and overseeing the construction of the building. Alberta Toothill was a British witch who lived from 1391 to 1483. In 1430, she became the winner of the All-England Wizarding Dueling Competition, an accomplishment she was immortalised for. Specifically, Alberta was known for her exceptional skill and agility in dueling, making her a renowned figure in the wizarding community during her time. Almeric Sawbridge was a British wizard and troll hunter who lived from 1602 to 1699. He was famous for conquering a 1-ton river troll, the biggest to have ever existed, that was terrorizing people near the Wye River. Almeric's remarkable feat of bravery and skill in defeating such a formidable beast ended up landing him his own chocolate frog card. Barnabas the Barmy was a wizard known for his highly unusual attempt at training trolls to do ballet. A moving tapestry depicting his curious endeavour hangs on the 7th floor of Hogwarts School, opposite the entrance to the Room of Requirement. Unsurprisingly, Barnabas eventually found himself being clubbed by the trolls. Beaumont Marjoribanks, born 1742, was a wizard known for his pioneering work in herbology, during which he collected and classified numerous magical plants and flowers. Perhaps his most famous discovery was gillyweed, first uncovering its magical properties. We of course see gillyweed in the books and films, but in case you need a refresher, it's a magical plant that, when consumed, grants the drinker the ability to breathe underwater. For his impressive contributions to the field of herbology, Beaumont was featured on a chocolate frog card. Bowman Wright, born 1492, was a half-blood wizard and a skilled metal charmer who lived in Godric's Hollow during the Middle Ages. Born to a witch mother and a muggle father, Wright is credited with inventing the golden snitch, a walnut-sized gold-coloured sphere with silver wings that is, as we know, integral to the game of Quidditch. In Quidditch, it's the goal of the seeker to catch the snitch, which is worth 150 points. However, what many do not know is that prior to the golden snitch, the game used what was called a golden snidget, a small round and most notably live bird known for its gold feathers and incredible speed. The snidget was used in earlier versions of Quidditch, but was later replaced by the golden snitch when the snidget was classified as a protected species. Bowman's significant contributions to the game of Quidditch have immortalised him in wizarding history. Bridget Wenlock. The number 7 is significant in the Harry Potter series because it is widely considered to be the most magical number, and because of this, there are a great number of subtle nods to this all-powerful magical number throughout the series. The names of many characters have 7 letters. Students attend Hogwarts for 7 years. There were 7 floors at Hogwarts. 7 players on a Quidditch team. You get the picture. But perhaps the greatest tribute to the power of 7 relates to Voldemort's Horcruxes. You see, Voldemort was obsessed with the number 7, and he held the belief that number 7 was of particular importance when achieving immortality in its strongest form. When Voldemort spoke with Slughorn as a student, one of the goals of the conversation was to confirm that 7 pieces of soul would make the concept of immortality through Horcruxes even more powerful. Voldemort felt that splitting his soul into more than 7 pieces would somehow lessen the strength of the power, and a conversation that occurs much later on between Harry and Dumbledore supports this. Wouldn't it be better, make you stronger, to have your soul in more pieces? I mean, for instance, isn't 7 the most powerfully magical number? Wouldn't 7? Harry asked. Yes, I think the idea of a 7-part soul would greatly appeal to Lord Voldemort. Because Voldemort was so fixated on number 7, and it being the most magical number, he felt that splitting his soul into 7 pieces, and only 7, would provide him the highest level of protection. He avoided creating additional Horcruxes because he felt that it would contradict this sacred number. But where does all of this obsession with the number 7 come from? Well, we can thank famous arithmancer Bridget Wenlock for that. Bridget Wenlock was a witch and famous arithmancer born in 1202 that is credited as being the first person to establish the magical properties of the number 7. When it first occurred to her, she wrote her groundbreaking theorem on the back of a sugar packet with invisible ink. How she came up with this theory is another question altogether. Barberus Bragge. In the Harry Potter universe, the game of Quidditch is traditionally credited to the medieval witch Gertie Kettle, who first documented the game in her diary. However, the modern version of Quidditch, with its standardized rules and equipment, was established by the wizard Barberus Bragge, who founded the Quidditch League headquarters and wrote the Quidditch Through the Ages book. Bragge was a British wizard who served as chief of the Wizards' Council during the 1260s, and he is credited with being the first person to introduce the Golden Snidget to the game of Quidditch, an early form of Quidditch. During a Quidditch match in 1269, Bragge released a Golden Snidget onto the field and promised a reward of 150 galleons to the player who caught it. After doing so, it quickly caught on, leading to the Snidget becoming a permanent part of the game and to the creation of a new position on the team, the Hunter, later known as the Seeker. So while Gertie Kettle is often cited as playing an early form of Quidditch, Barberus Bragge is credited with formalizing and organizing the sport as it's known in the wizarding world today. Beedle the Bard, one of the most beloved storytellers of wizarding history, has been immortalized through the indelible mark he left on magical literature. According to historical accounts, Beedle was born in the 15th century and lived in Yorkshire, England. His birth name and exact birth date are unknown. However, we do know that he possessed exceptional storytelling skills and had an exceptionally luxuriant beard, as shown in the surviving woodcut that depicts him. Beedle the Bard's claim to fame lies in his collection of fairy tales, aptly titled The Tales of Beedle the Bard. These enchanting tales encompass a variety of themes, from the pursuit of power to the importance of love and sacrifice. Aside from his facial hair, it's impossible to truly know Beedle, but perhaps we can catch a glimpse of him in his stories. A wizard who was sympathetic to muggles, mistrusted dark magic, and believed that kindness, common sense, and ingenuity were more admirable than even the most powerful magic. It's worth noting that the tales of Beedle the Bard have not only entertained generations of witches and wizards, but also provide valuable moral lessons and insights into the wizarding world. Many wizards and witches grew up hearing these tales, which were passed down from one generation to another, subsequently adding to the rich tapestry of magical lore. Barnabas Deverill was a notorious wizard from the early 18th century who earned quite the reputation after he terrorized the wizarding community with the Elder Wand. Deverill acquired the wand after defeating a rival wizard named Hereward, and eventually lost the wand to a wizard named Loxias. Bran the Bloodthirsty was a medieval giant that lived in a castle on top of an enchanted beanstalk. He was slain by a boy named Jack. This one sounds awfully familiar. Brutus Malfoy. Nothing is a surer sign of weak magic than a weakness for non-magical company. This is a direct quote from arguably the worst and most intolerant Malfoy in history, Brutus Malfoy. Brutus was a British pureblood wizard who happened to be the editor of the anti-Muggle periodical Warlock at War, and from this fact it's probably pretty easy to derive that Brutus was prejudiced towards Muggleborns. However, that alone wasn't good enough for him, as he dedicated his life to targeting and exposing anyone and everyone that would even dare to fraternize with Muggles or Muggleborns. He was an advocate of the fact that witches and wizards who associated with muggles lacked magical talent, an entirely skewed perspective likely fabricated out of hate. And that's it for the A's and B's of wizarding history. Which names were new to you? Let me know down in the comment section below. Until next time, remember, it does not do to dwell on dreams and to forget to live.